Again, welcome everyone. My name is Damien Duchamp or Duchamp. I am based in New York in the USA. I will be the moderator today, and I serve as the executive director for Hospitalented, and I'm the author of the book Tourism is Gold. I teach hospitality and tourism in the US and also in primarily in West Africa. So I'm happy to be here for this topic. This is super, super important. It means a lot to a number of countries. And we have a wonderful set of speakers who are going to provide a lot of perspectives, different insights from their own personal and professional experiences. And we encourage everyone to add their comments on the different platforms, and so that we can keep the conversation going because it is important. Without further ado, we are going to get started with our first speaker, Dr. Sokhum from the Cambodia Secretary of State of Tourism. You are welcome, and we can't wait to hear what you have to share with the group. Please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Damien Duchamp. And hello, everyone, and also Dr. Reza Sultani, President of the Institute of Tourism Belgium. And Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, at this outset, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Reza Sultani for honoring me with this opportunity to share Cambodia's experiences in tourism and economic development. It is a privilege for me to join this distinguished summit to present Cambodia's journeys of transformation and development, and also to learn from various speakers who presented here today. Cambodia, situated in the heart of Southeast Asia, is home to the majestic Angkor, a World Heritage treasure and a symbol of humanity's shared legacy. Though we gather here virtually across continent and time zones, our shared vision for sustainable development and the transformative power of tourism unites us here more closely than ever in this digital age and AI-driven era. Cambodia's tourism vision is anchored in the national policy of culture and nature, and our designation of tourism as Green Gold. This reflects our commitment to growth that is environmentally sustainable and socially responsible. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to our modern renaissance was made possible by the win-win policy because complexity of Cold War geopolitics and completely ended in 1998 of Samdech Akep Mahasenapati Hun Sen, President of the Senate, which secured peace and stability in 1998. Peace is the indispensable foundation for tourism and development. Without it, there can be no meaningful travel, cultural connectivity, or sustainable industry. Building on this legacy, the royal government of Cambodia, under Samdech Maha Bowatapadae Hun Manet, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, has launched the Pentagonal Strategy Phase 1. Tourism industry is placed at the heart of economic diversification, digital transformation, and human capital development. This reinforces the truth that tourism grows in peace. Executing this vision, Excellency Mr. Hut Haq, Minister of Tourism, has pioneered green season tourism, turning seasonal challenges into opportunity by showcasing Cambodia's lush natural beauty during the monsoon season. In addition, he called each person is a brand ambassador of Cambodian tourism, empowers every Cambodian to represent our national heritage proudly. Cambodian tourism is a pillar for the economic development, contributing almost 30% to GDP. And as manifestly in 2019, Cambodia welcomed 6.6 million international arrival, but 2024 arrival rebounded to 6.7 million with an increase of 22.9% over 2023. And in 2025, more than 5.7 million international arrival. Tourism reached almost $3.9 billion with an increase of 6.6%, while domestic tourism surged to 25.16 million trips, an increase of 11.7%. This growth supports a robust tourism infrastructure that we have hotel guest houses, almost 100,000 rooms, over 2,300 official licensed restaurants, bar or discotheque, and 652 licensed tour operators, and 129 community-based tourism sites, and 605 certified tour guides. Tourism industry provides jobs, direct jobs to local of 420,000 to the local, sustaining livelihood and driving national prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, emerging from the ashes of the Khmer Rouge genocide, Cold War geopolitics, Cambodia rebuilt from absolute zero. Through the resilience and reform, we transformed widespread poverty and also illiteracy into one of the world's most notable poverty reduction achievements between 2009 and 2019. The poverty rate fell from 33.8% to 17.8%, lifting nearly 2 million people out of poverty. Tourism industry has been purposely tied to all-inclusive growth, poverty reduction, and environmental sustainability. Ecotourism and community-based tourism has flourished in landscapes such as Northeast, the realm of ecotourism, and the Cardamom Mountain, and the UNESCO-listed Great Lake of Tonle Sap Biosphere Reserve. The initiative empower local and indigenous communities while reinforcing biodiversity and cultural heritage. Great Lake of the Tonle Sap exemplify the transformation once marked by the poverty and dependence on fishing. It now benefits from tourism-driven diversification, improved infrastructure, and community enterprise. Since 1999, Cambodia has partnered with the international organization and United Nations agencies such as AECID Spain, SNV Netherlands, OSAID Australia, USAID, JICA, COICA, IUCN, WWF, ADB. For ADB, we received many projects since 1999, and we have that project for pro-poor community-based tourism development. And we have World Bank, UNDP, UNEP, and UN Tourism especially. So STEP Foundation, when His Excellency Francesco Franciulli was a sitting Secretary General of the former UNWTO. Cambodia has quite a number of pro-poor community-based tourism along the Mekong River, called Mekong Dolphin Trail from phase 1 to phase 4, and the Kracheh Tourism Development Master Plan from 2007 to 2011, including the local NGO support and assistance. Together, we have advanced the community-based tourism, reducing rural poverty while preserving the heritage. Our commitment, our current national campaign, such as Green Season Tourism, Clean City, Clean Resort, and Good Service, Good Hospitality, and Leadership in Smoke-Free Environment in Tourism Sector. Initiative ensure growth is anchored in the safety and hygiene responsibility. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Cambodian experience demonstrate that tourism industry, one guided by political will, global partnerships, and standard, become more than an industry. It is a tool for social justice, economic equity, and environmental stewardship. Protecting cultural and natural heritage is not a barrier to progress. It is the very engine that drives it. As we look to the future, Cambodia holds profound optimism that peace and harmony will prevail regionally and globally. Tourism thrives only in stability, and peace brings that connect nations. Tourism is the vehicle that allows us to celebrate our shared humanity. May I extend the blessing to all participants with the 4 gems of Buddhist wisdom: longevity, nobility, health, and strength. Last but not least, I warmly invite you to experience Cambodia firsthand, to walk along the temples of Angkor, to feel the warmth of our people, and discover why Cambodia is truly the kingdom of wonder. Thank you so much for your attention.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Certainly some really nice ways of framing the experience that people could have in visiting your lovely country. I have not been yet, but I really want to go. So I appreciate that. And next we have Professor Alessandra Priante, who is the president of the Italian Tourism Board. And we welcome you, Alessandra.
Thank you very much. And big greeting from me from Roma. I am at the moment in Museum Maxi in Rome, where we're celebrating the General Assembly of Federturismo, which is one of the biggest industrial associations devoted to tourism. We are expecting the minister, the president of the Senate. You know, it's a big thing, celebrating tourism, celebrating the results, but also talking about the challenges. It is a great honor for me to accept the invitation of the Institute for Tourism. I'm really happy. A big thank you to you and to Dr. Reza Sultani and everyone at the Institute who are doing a great job. I am actually here to share something very important. Last year, Italy has celebrated just a few kilometers away from here, the WTTC Global Summit, which is, as you know, the global summit of the biggest association and membership association of the private sector of travel and tourism in the world. So we are experiencing a growth in tourism, which is unprecedented, but for one reason, because the situation is actually putting Europe at the focus of attention. Also, geopolitically, we tend to stay here and not go really very far. And there's a lot of stronger attention from the US and from South America to Europe and to Italy in particular. Why, though, what I wanted to bring forward is that at the moment, growth is always measured by quantity. And we're always talking about numbers, and we're always talking about rankings. Now, let me tell you what my thought and what my latest words around the world are. These metrics belong to the 1900s. They were very important when we were building destinations because we needed to communicate that this was, in fact, a potential business. Now, we know it's a business. It's a business that sometimes can create disruptions. Therefore, we're still talking about over tourism in some of our favorite destinations as if tourists are the problem, which they're not, clearly. But this shows that we need to start measuring properly a lot of other things that have more to do with the qualitative and the emotional human aspect. Can we do this? Yes, because now we got AI. So AI has to help us not only in understanding better the trends, the quantitative trends, the situation that we are forecasting. Because let's say having X amount of tourists in terms of quantity of overnight stays, of numbers of nights that they actually stay in a specific destination is important. Having it from 2025 is probably not that relevant, especially when we talk to the industry. What is far more important is what's going to happen in 2027, 2028. Now, are we able to predict? Yes. Are we accurate? Sort of, because clearly when there's disruptions like COVID, like wars, it's very, very difficult to forecast. So we need to take into consideration that we must measure something else. That something else is the human experience, is the values, is the emotions, is the actual things that the tourists are taking back with them. And not only that, we need to start taking into account their emotions in the moment that they book, because this is going to help us clearly in the moment that we can, attract them in a specific place to do something very specific. And AI can help indeed. There's Generation Z, and now they told me that the next one is called Alpha. So we're going back, we're starting back. So they're actually making the bookings only on AI. So for us, destinations, especially when we want to have a strategy of promoting lesser known ones and communicating certain messages, it's very important to be present in that, let's say, advice that Claude or ChatGPT gives to the single user when they say, I want to go and enjoy myself for a weekend with my friends in a place where I can go and do parachutes. I mean, how many proposals can we actually put forward? And how can we interact with these people through AI? Therefore, change the metrics, because if we don't change what we measure, we're not going to change what we do. Okay. Second thing, let's go beyond words. Sustainability was the most spoken word in the last 15 years. Have countries, destinations, companies, single people taken serious initiatives that cost a lot of money to become severely sustainable and preserve, the health not only of us but of our planet as well? Maybe some places, yes, some places, not so much. So is sustainability still something that we should all push for? Yes. Is it something concretely achievable in a way that it's, let's say, economically viable for many? I am not so sure. And we don't even have the means to force people to do that. So this is also very important, from words to action. All right. And the last thing I want to push forward is that we cannot create the tourism of tomorrow without involving the local communities, without involving the people that are actually, and more consistently, the existence of destinations. So destinations cannot be separated from the people that live in them, whether it's 350 because it's a small village, where there is 5 people with 3 goats, or whether it's 4 million people like in this beautiful capital. We have to put communities at the center of our tourism policies, because this is the only way that we can grow an holistic, organic, and mostly beneficial type of tourism that no one's going to complain about, or maybe just a few. And then overall, there's going to be super, super good effects for everyone, generating jobs, involving the younger generations. All of this is a responsibility that we carry, and we must absolutely be effective about it. We are not managing destinations anymore. We're generating equilibriums. And because we're generating equilibriums, which actually technically in Latin, I should say equilibria, maybe, we must consider everyone, include everyone and exclude no one. And with this big, big message, I would like to wish you all a super discussion, and I will return back to the General Assembly of Turismo. And from beautiful Roma, I'm wishing you a super, super weekend.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we wish you the best of luck in your endeavors in Roma. I have very good memories of being there myself. And I think you left us with a lot of good things to think about. And that whole idea of equilibrium, I think is really on point. And that idea of measuring the human experience, I think it's time. It's time that we
Thank you.
refocus. Thank you, Alessandra.
Bye.
All right. Well, wonderful. So at this time, we are going to move into our next speaker with Ms. Natalie, who is the chairperson of the Georgian Tourism Association. You are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for lovely representing me to audience, and I'm happy to be here. And special thanks to Mr. Reza that's inviting me a very important conference, Tourism and Economic Development. Especially I want to give the very brief information about my country, greeting all of you from sunny Georgia, and I hope that Georgia is a country, very nice tourist destination, will be part of your plan for the travel and the discovery. So I represent Georgian Tourist Association as a private sector in my country, and we as an organization is very strong represented our tourism and hospitality sector inside country. That's we want to share the very brief information about our activities and about the country perspective, what is the main priority for us. Of course, when we are talking about tourism and hospitality, tourism is a fundamental pillar for the Georgia economy, and approximately 50% of our GDP covered by the tourism and hospitality, and income approximately more than 4 billion is from our sector. And we as a country make the all possibility for our investors and interesting businesses who want to invest the possibility inside country to become more flexible and more good opportunity for everybody who want to spend $1, minimum $1 to our country to support our tourism and hospitality. Of course, that we have very good opportunity, and key economy catalysts include the liberal business climate, visa-free regime, and the good opportunity of the flight, which give us the new perspective for the tourist development, because the flight in different country, direct flight is the most popular and the most important to increase not only traveler, to increase the business opportunity in country and outside, of course, and to represent country as a good tourist destination and spend huge marketing opportunity from the country. It's a good parallel collaboration with the tourism and aviation development for future sustainability for us as a country for the tourist destination. Of course, to speak and what is the main priority for the country. Of course, the sustainable development is crucial, important, and sustainability without education, without digital transformation, area opportunity is impossible. So we have huge of the potential to develop our possibilities inside country, because the tourism as a main direction of our country economy is a very fast-growing sector for our economy, contributing significantly to employment, investment, regional development, and international recognition of the country, of course. And Georgia is famous around the world, a very hospitality country for our unique cultural heritage, landscape, traditions. Of course, this gives us the opportunity to increase, worldwide travelers in Georgia. Last year was very successful for this direction. More than 7 million travelers we have inside country, and step by step is increasing as well the direct flight opportunity, and this helps us very much because the approximately 42 European countries, we have the direct flight, and 70 international European airlines flights to across the direct flight from Georgia to European countries as well. European Union is, of course, one of the main priority for us to increase the from European country travelers, but all around the world we are working very hard and to discover for international partners and the travelers. Georgia is a country very hospitable and very unique for our very unique our landscape, protected areas, cultural heritage, etc. So to discover the country is an important economy priority, and there's a tourism play big role for our population, because the greatest advantage of tourism is ability to create employment opportunity. Of course, especially in our region, rural area is employed very much, and this is the alternative source for our income, especially in our rural areas. But unemployment and migration is big challenges for our country, of course. But we, together with our government, try to solve this problem, because this opportunity, step by step, we want to improve this possibility for our country, and invite in Georgia all Georgians to spend the money inside country to create the new jobs opportunity, to create new businesses. And especially from our side, we are all times supporting every interesting organization or person who wants to make something for our country, because Georgia is a crossroad in Europe, Asia, plays a big role in development part, and we as a hub of logistical and economy in Caucasus region play big role. And we, of course, we need inside country big investment opportunity, of course, to see Georgia as a sustainable tourist implementation as a phase of transition from post-Soviet country for post-Soviet market resilience. Of course, the country has a good balance, rapid visitor growth with the preservation of the ecological and cultural heritage, because we have several stage of the development. This is the infrastructure, market diversification. This is the ecotourism, protected area management development. Of course, this is the green tourism and value chain integration, and of course, the community improvement and heritage preservation. This is the big part for us. But success of the sustainable tourism in Georgia depends on the skills, networking, and high environmental standards. Of course, we have the country perspective and the association perspective. We have the very close cooperation with our international partners, and international organization. Association is part of several international organizations, and we together supporting country tourist development. And we, as organization, received a huge of the opportunity from our international partners as World Economic Tourism Directions, and from our global international organization. It's a really good opportunity for us to sharing experience and strengthen our networking future development. Of course, the destination management plays big role in our country, because the destinations means that strong destinations means that a strong regional development, strong sustainable development. This is the all connected each together. Of course, the sustainable hospitality sector plays big role for our country development, and because the talk was about the digital transformation, sustainable development, education, and all this. As a result, many hotels and guest houses in Georgia are adopted sustainable practice, such as energy efficient system, waste management, eco-friendly construction, and everything is really connected each together in Georgia. And in sustainable development, we're going to support and preserve Georgia traditions and hospitality, of course, and huge opportunity which is connected with the future development. Of course, this is connected with the with together global partner, create one ecosystem for the tourism sustainable development. This is crucial important for us, and we as association, we as a country is ready to receive all initiative connected with the joint initiatives. I mean that connected with the country development, sustainable development, and tourist development for my country. Thank you for this opportunity. I hope my time was I keep my time, and for really thanks for this opportunity to sharing this experience to all participants here. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was really helpful to think differently a little bit about the opportunity to visit your country. Yes, thank you, George. So as a note, by all means, please be putting things into the chat. If you're able to, please be posting on the different platforms. If you have questions for our different speakers, please, we will try to have some time towards the end so that, we can have some discussion, but you can also prep them with the questions through the chat if you have that opportunity. But again, thank you, Natalie. That was very helpful for me I learned a couple things, so that's always a good thing. So next we have Professor Jos van der Sterren, International Economist, Director, Center, Tourism and Hospitality, Breda University of the Netherlands. Wonderful and welcome.
Thank you very much, Damien. I'm trying to share a few slides. I don't know if that works. Let me try out if it.
Yes, it works. Please.
And can you see them now?
Not yet.
Let's see if it works now.
Yep, there they are.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, first a small introduction of myself. I'm working at Breda University of Applied Sciences, international economist by profession. Currently, I'm leading the Center of Expertise, Leisure, Tourism, Hospitality, which is the only Dutch nationwide center of expertise in the domain, funded by 3 universities in the Netherlands. My background is a kind of, I would say, bipolar background. I've been working in developing countries for 15 years. I was a fund manager of a major credit fund supporting SMEs in developing countries from the Netherlands, an NGO working on SME development in over 25 countries as a fund manager, giving credit in microfinance programs and financial inclusion programs. And afterwards, I switched careers, moving to education, to higher education in tourism. And a world opened up for me, is to say, because there's a clear connection between tourism and international development, especially poverty alleviation, which was my job before. So I've been looking and discussing and searching this connection between tourism and poverty alleviation from the beginning of my work here at Breda University as a lecturer in economics, searching to find ways how can poverty be alleviated or supported, poverty alleviation be supported through tourism development. This led to some publications we made with some professors we had here at Breda University, Paul Peters and Jeroen Nouwijn, on the Sustainable Tourism to Eliminate Poverty program that was promoted in 2006, 2007, I think it was some 20 years ago. And basically, some reflections that I would like to give here today relate to that analysis we did by then. After that, I've been working as a consultant in various countries. We did a study on SMEs and job creation in Rwanda to see how can tourism really contribute to not so much low-skilled job, but more higher-skilled jobs in Rwanda. We did some work in Mozambique on national parks and destination management strategies, on Ethiopia and Kenya on rural development, and how can young people be embedded in rural development and tourism. So I'm kind of taking these experiences to this forum, and to state first, I think the bottom line is that tourism really does contribute to economic development in the core sense. So it creates jobs in most of the countries where you see tourism happening. We've heard the three speakers before of myself already referring to that. It generates revenues to countries there where cash is coming in from tourists, and also where you see value chains and tourism supply chains being developed. It generates, let's say, some kind of relationship to infrastructural developments. Airports are being constructed, hotels are being constructed, assets are being constructed. So in that sense, I think I really am supporting the idea of tourism when it comes to economic development. There's a kind of critical note that I would like to make more at a macro level when you think of the national economic development of countries. And that is that the question that I always ask myself, is tourism the best strategy? So did we ever compare tourism to other economic strategies when it comes to designing an economic development strategy? So that reflection is my feeling is not always done in the right way. I'm not sure if you're moving now. The screen is not sharing. Yeah, here it is. So that's a question that has been around my head for many years. Is tourism always the best strategy for economic development if you look at it from the national perspective? If you look at it the local perspective, in many areas, in many destinations, especially where you see cultural hotspots or cultural heritage being developed. So Angkor Wat is one of the beautiful places indeed that you can mention. But we were in Sri Lanka with our students last year with huge opportunities in terms of cultural heritage, tourism-related assets. And those places really develop tourism at the local level. But if you zoom out a little bit to the national level and you wonder yourself, okay, but what does it mean really in terms of economics? Then the picture might be a little bit different. And unfortunately, sometimes you see countries moving to tourism without comparing investments in tourism, maybe to investments in added value in agriculture or other sectors. And that's kind of the question that is what I would like to put on the table. When we did in the 90s and 2007 was analyze a little bit what are these structural constraints that really prevent countries from, especially least development countries and developing countries, to move on a tourism strategy. And first and foremost, you see structural governance inequalities. Many developing countries have limited stable investment climates that are really needed for sustained tourism growth and renovation. If you see investments taking place, these are usually taking place by corporates coming in and trying to also get a return on those investments in a relatively short time. But public investments are usually done with support of international development funds. So if you look at roads and infrastructure and airports and the like, to sustain these with tourism, calculated is really difficult. Second issue that you see popping up is that really revenues are basically, many of the revenues are being repatriated, a phenomenon that you call leakage. It's getting less and less because many countries are developing their own supply chains locally, which allows for more indirect and induced economic impacts at the local level. So I must say that in that sense, moving forward, emerging economies have really moved away a little bit from this leakage system by taxation and by other areas. One final constraint is basically that you see if you focus on tourism without focusing on other income strategies and redistribution policies, the idea of tourism generating decent income might be blocked. Many of the jobs that are being created in tourism are seasonal, unstable, informal, and with limited options really for career development. And that's an issue that's usually not taken into account. We say there's a lot of jobs being created, but what is really the sector developing in terms of job creation and career pathways. And it's not for nothing that many of the jobs that you see in tourism don't have a really good image, and people tend to go out of the sector after a few years to find other jobs. A second point, which is very crucial and which is maybe an elephant in the room, is what we would call ecological unsustainability. Unfortunately, when you think about developing countries and the tourists that they attract, they're not coming from neighboring countries, but they come from long-haul tourism through airplanes. And we have to put on the table the fact that the impacts of air flights and aviation to carbon dioxide emissions still is increasing, with no short-term future of changing that impact. I know it's a difficult topic to state, but with climate change around the corner having a lot of impact on the society, it's fair to have that discussion when it comes to future tourism strategies. So economic development might be there in jobs, but the negative impact that you need to get those tourists to your place to create those jobs, we have to take them into account. If we would really have tourism as a developing strategies, then you really would need a lot of long-haul trips, which would triple the global GHG emissions. And I don't think we want to go into that directions. Last but not least, we talked about economic dependencies and leakages. We see sometimes tourism being chosen as a development strategies where other strategies might be much more beneficial in terms of added value and economic returns. And especially ICT and agriculture comes to my mind, as these two industries are, in terms of added value and skills value, most probably adding more value to the local economy. I have to admit that also when it comes to the ICT sector, AI is kind of a game changer, as the eco-efficiency of the sector of ICT is under debate now very strongly because of the water and energy use of the AI sector in ICT. But in any case, as an industry, it's a kind of alternative that countries might pursue. And Rwanda is a country that is an example, having a diversified strategy when it comes to promoting economic development. So without taking too much of your time, I would like to just finalize and say, okay, what could work? To my feeling, as I said, focusing on a differentiated strategy where you combine tourism with other industries. Also a topic that is maybe not foreseen many times, but comes from my financial background, relates to remittances and migration. So if people have an income strategy where they find jobs elsewhere, and we see people migrating all over the world now and sending back money to their families back home, those strategies from an economic perspective might be more beneficial for countries. So even if it's not maybe that sexy as they say, I think it might be an interesting pathway to pursue. Critical takeaways, as I said, tourism growth is not per se leading to poverty reduction. We see structural leakage still happening. There's this ecological ceiling related mainly to airplanes and long-haul tourism. And finally, but not least, I think tourism should be there. It's not a default growth strategy, but it should be embedded basically as an option into a diversified economic sector development portfolio of a country. Then it might work. It can really strengthen other economic sectors, and it really can blend into a more diversified economic sector. I would like to leave it here. Thank you for your time. And open to questions. Please check the website www.celth.nl or buas.nl if you want to know more about what we're doing. So thanks, Damien, and back to you.
Great, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I love the slides because it gave us a visual for what we could actually focus in on. And there are a couple takeaways, and actually you reminded me of the recent announcement that the airlines would not be able to achieve their SAS goal for a variety of reasons, which again goes back to the idea of sustainability and where we're all supposed to be heading. But we understand the world has changed. Things have made it a little bit more complicated, but as long as we keep that in our sights, we should still be heading in that direction. So thank you very much for that. And I will certainly follow up to be in contact for a variety of reasons. So next, very excited to welcome Dr. Ghada Chalabi, former Vice Minister of Tourism and Antiquities for Egypt. Welcome.
Hello, thank you very much, Damien, and hello to everyone, and good evening or good afternoon from wherever you are. And I'd like to really thank Dr. Reza for inviting me to this forum with all of those people coming, talking about tourism and how it's important and to the economies and to the people. First of all, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Ghada Chalabi. I'm a former Vice Minister for Tourism in Egypt, for tourism purposes. I was in office from 2020, from January 2020 till 2024. Very interesting time in tourism and in the world, hitting by COVID and multiple crises that really affected tourism negatively. Tourism for Egypt is quite vital, and I'd like to highlight that last month, WTTC had their annual meeting in one of the cruises sailing through the Gulf of Suez. All of the attendees really witnessed how Egypt has tourism is very important to it, and we were able to showcase a number of activities and magnificent projects that were recently introduced, namely the Grand Egyptian Museum, for example, that is came to the world after so many years. Today, I'm going to address a quite interesting project that not only was important for tourism and building destination, but also combining between how we can build a sustainable power and a sustainable destination, and as well empower the local community in a historical and magnificent historical site. My presentation will highlight how tourism can become a catalyst for sustainable development while empowering local Bedouin communities and preserving the destination unique identity. I will provide also an overview of St. Catherine. St. Catherine's tourism development vision, objectives, opportunities, and challenges, highlighting the key partnerships supporting this initiative, and share an update of the Grand Transfiguration project that we call in Arabic El Tajalli Al Azam, which is where, let me tell you, where is St. Catherine and where it's situated. It is, St. Catherine is located in the heart of South Sinai, approximately 500 kilometers from Cairo, 200 kilometers away from the famous leisure destination of Sharm el-Sheikh. The area is globally significant as a sacred destination for Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. It is the only place on earth where God revealed himself to Moses. According to tradition, Mount Moses witnessed this great transfiguration, which made it collapse because of the tajalli of God to Moses. It's also home to St. Catherine Monastery, one of the oldest continuously operating monasteries in the world. This combination of spiritual significance, cultural heritage, and natural beauty makes St. Catherine truly unique. Our vision when we started this project was to create a holistic tourism destination that generates sustainable development opportunities for the local community. The focus was on empowering Bedouin. Empowering Bedouin communities and ensuring they actively participate in the benefit from tourism growth by transforming the destination from a day trip excursion from Sharm el-Sheikh into a destination where visitors can stay for up to 2 to 3 days. At the same time, the project supports the conservation and promotion of St. Catherine's culture and natural heritage. The overall objective was to create a balanced model where tourism development and sustainability go hand in hand. The first objective was to increase visitor numbers, extending the length of stay and increase tourism spending within the destination. The second objective was to empower local communities, particularly women and children, through skills development and integration into the tourism value chain. The strategy also sought to strengthen local products, gastronomy, and handicrafts, creating stronger economic linkages with tourism. Another key objective was the protection and promotion of the area's natural and cultural heritage. Finally, the project aimed to diversify tourism experiences while preserving the distinctive architectural and cultural character of St. Catherine. We had a number of opportunities. Global tourism trends increasingly favor destinations that other value culture, spiritual, and nature-based experiences. St. Catherine is ideally positioned to benefit from these trends due to its unique heritage and natural environment. The Egyptian government's significant investment in this destination provided a stronger foundation for future growth. And also there is a substantial potential to expand nature tourism, adventure tourism, spiritual tourism, and rural tourism experiences. The destination also offers opportunities to integrate local handicrafts, agriculture, and culture traditions into the visitor experience. While the opportunities were significant, there were also important challenges that we needed to address. Community engagement, because the community there were quite distant. Accessibility, additional efforts were needed to support women and youth participation in tourism-related activities. Accommodation capacity needed to increase as well in the area. Accessibility, connectivity, infrastructure enhancements remained important areas of focus. And finally, innovation, digitalization, and skill developments were also important and essential to ensure long-term competitiveness. We didn't work alone. The government didn't work alone, but also worked with a number of institutions. The Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities played a leading role in guiding the initiative. Key partners from other ministries responsible for local development, housing, planning, environment, renewable energy, water resources, and social development. The National Council for Women were also involved, and the collaboration framework around all of these institutions were important. Also, international partners were brought into the table. Areas like ATA, Google, Expedia, TripAdvisor, other partners were important also to be brought into the table, and we would work together. Now, El Tajalli El Azam, the Great Transfiguration project, aims to position this destination as a world-class spiritual, cultural, and ecotourism destination. Government investment exceeded 25 billion Egyptian pounds, demonstrating a strong commitment to the future of St. Catherine, and the project included 14 integrated tourism, environmental, cultural, and infrastructure components. Achieving results, that transformation is about to be revealed quite soon. and the destination is aimed to welcome tourists from all over the world. And St. Catherine now will stand as a pivotal moment into the development journey that we had through the strategic planning and strong partnerships with all parties. Now I wish to ask all participants who have heard before about St. Catherine, and if you ever came across this destination, and when will you plan your next trip to it? I hope I didn't take long time from you, but I hope also that I was able to showcase a live case of sustainability and development to a local community.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I didn't know about this before, so I'm excited to learn more. And this is a great illustration of how to collaborate with the local community, and especially the youth engagement piece was spoke to me, because the youth are the future of our industry, and they play a huge part in building in that infrastructure and that foundation. So thank you very much, Dr. Gada.
Thank you.
All right. So next we are going to invite Mr. Abdullah Gias, chairperson for Visit Maldives, to share some information about his world.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, good evening or good afternoon or good morning to wherever you are. Firstly, thank you for this opportunity to speak here on this subject. I think that has really shaped my entire professional life. How tourism creates economic development, it creates jobs, it creates income opportunities for our people. Today, I don't speak as the chairperson of Visit Maldives, but as someone who has spent the last 25 years working in tourism across the Maldives. For me, this is not an academic topic. It is something I've witnessed firsthand throughout my career. The Maldives, as most of you know, has one of the most dependent on economies around the world on tourism. Highest GDP dependency of tourism on our economy. Tourism directly or indirectly supports a significant share of the government revenue, foreign exchange, earnings, and employment. But behind these statistics, I mean, I didn't want to go into so much of stats, but I'm sure, last year we welcomed around 2.2 million tourists. We crossed around 5.5 billion in tourism receipts in USD. But behind all these numbers, what I truly believe, or what we truly believe, is when tourism grows, people prosper. When tourism struggles, communities feel it immediately. And one of the good examples, when I was asked to speak about this, and I said, can I talk about what we experienced just a couple of years ago during the pandemic? Because when borders closed and tourism stopped, the impact was immediate. When resorts shut down, when hotels, guest houses, when flights stopped, when speedboats were tied up, thousands of people were really worried about their livelihood. It was, a question of our real survival. And one real experience that has remained with me ever since has been when I was at the airport, going to the airport on the ferry from Male to the airport. Then one of the boat crews really came up to me. He did not know who I was and asked me, how many tourists are arriving today? And I really felt that, because everything we do around is so connected. And they were not asking this out of curiosity. They were asking this because tourist arrivals determine how we work, whether we would earn an income, whether he could support his families. It was a simple question that captured what tourism's role is in our economy. Tourism is not about hotels. It's not about resorts. It's about jobs, it's about the livelihoods, it's about an opportunity. And in the Maldives, tourism has been around for the last 5 decades. To be exact, 54 years. It has really transformed our small island economy that was mainly dependent on fisheries into a global recognized tourism destination today. And I've seen this, transformation firsthand, how people's careers as waiters, receptionists, boat crews, how they've climbed the ladder, become managers, entrepreneurs, and even business owners. I've seen, islands where the economic opportunities were limited, and how this has grown into, the communities. I've seen how families educate their children, build homes, and the real changes that, practical changes that this has had in multiple levels. Today we have a cross section of different products. I know we're known for one island, one resort, but we have grown into guest houses, hotels, and also our liverboats. So we've clearly seen today we have around 67,000 beds in the Maldives. And this has really grown over the years, and around 25% of our market today is guest houses. And this is really something that is really changing the way we've seen tourism in the last couple of years, because tourism was, again, like I mentioned, limited to one island, one resort. Today, people are able to participate. The local communities participate directly in this. Families are able to become entrepreneurs, opportunities for small cafes, excursion operators, transport and local suppliers. And I've also seen how, I've always said this, it's a pathway of creating a stronger middle class, reducing economic dependence on single source of income. And it surely does not automatically reduce poverty, but only does it when a destination has to make choices. And I've seen our strength has been investing in people, because hotels can be quickly built, but human capital really takes time. And this is one of the challenges that we are facing today. Training, education, language skills, leadership development, entrepreneurship has to become priorities. Secondly, we need to strengthen our local supply chains, more goods and services to be purchased, obviously, locally, where the local economy benefits from this. One thing we are really particular about is how we want to protect our natural resources, obviously sustainability, our beaches, our reefs, our lagoon, marine environment. By far, some of our biggest assets. It's not just a economic, environmental asset. I certainly feel it's also economic assets. Without them, we will not obviously have the tourism industry. And for us, sustainability is not a trendy word, but it is part of everyday life. It is a part of environment policy. It's a part of good policy that we can develop. Lastly, the fourth is opportunities for young and women. Again, this is an area that we've been challenged. We need to get more youth. We need to get more women in tourism, and this is something that over the years that we really have not been able to capture. And I think these are all lessons that we have learned. Arrivals are important, but we must also measure the quality of jobs created for locals, community benefits, environment sustainability, like I mentioned, and income generated for the local people. Because the pandemic has taught us that how vulnerable tourism-dependent economies can be, and it has reminded us that tourism has the remarkable ability to help us recover and rebuild our livelihoods. When visitors return, jobs return. When businesses reopen, communities again regain that confidence. Resilience is another subject I've seen us really be part of. It's been one of our strong. 54 years ago, we were told that tourism would not work in a country like Maldives. We were too isolated. We were in the middle of nowhere. But against all odds, we as Maldivians really made this story possible. And today we are so proud to have a lot of international participation. We have a vibrant community, supporting various different jobs across the various spectrum. So I want to just share this thought with me. I was told just to bring some personal experiences, how tourism affects our economy and how this has really shaped our life. And I hope I kept it brief. And next time I will definitely build some slides and show some amazing, scenic of the underwaters and every beautiful beaches that we have to offer. So thank you again for having me in this. I hope I shed some light in some of the stories that I wanted to share with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you don't need slides to share a good message. And so you certainly did that, and we appreciate you. And of course, I show pictures of the Maldives to my students all the time because it's just gorgeous. So thank you for your time. And I want to pass it over to Dr. Reza, who has something to share with the group.
Yeah. I just want to say that Professor Francesco Frangelli is here, and the two-term Secretary General of United Nations Tourism, and the former President of Minister of Tourism of France, and of course our Executive Board. At the end of this session, he will also speak a few minutes. So if you can, please stay to listen to him. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Please. Yeah.
Thank you. That's awesome. So next, Dr. Akiz from Founding Dean, Central Asian University, Uzbekistan. The floor is yours.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am joining today from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. If I may share my slides, I would like to talk about something closer to the theme, but I would like to give a heads up. I am not an economist. I'm a tourism professor for the last 20 plus years, and this is, as tourism professor, my observation from Central Asia, particularly Uzbekistan, and how I see opportunities, constraints, and future paths from the economic point of view. So, can you see my slides?
Yes, Professor, yes.
All right. Okay, I will move on very quickly. I know I am not going to take a very long time. The argument is this: we recover from pandemic. We are experiencing war and unrest in some regions. However, in our DNA, tourism and hospitality makes us move. And for better or worse, it creates economic impact. And most of the time, it is seen as numbers, as mentioned by the earlier speakers. We measure with dollars, with numbers. What I would like to argue a little bit is not the volume, but higher quality, better connected and resilient tourism, and measurable benefits, not for, top hotel or tourism companies, but for the society. So these are a couple of bullet points. I'm not going to go through each line. I can make it available through the Institute of Tourism if you are interested in. Particularly, international tourism is growing. We are recovering. In specific example, tourism with Uzbekistan is moving forward, and that brings money. So visitor economy largely shapes the policy, and Uzbek government is doing great job in investing in infrastructure, in policies, so which makes Uzbekistan in the region kind of leading the Central Asian tourism, if I may dare to say. These are some, I know you may not read all the text, it's not important. On the right side, in the next 3 years, including 2026, there are 25 international hotel chains are scheduled to open. In the middle left corner, these are some kind of investment structure, how the mountain resorts will grow. On the left corner, this is Bukhara and how it has been shaped to reflect Uzbek history, culture, and eventually bring recognition, visitors, and money. What I particularly love the strategy of Uzbek government is they are learning from what neighboring countries, what benchmarked failures, if I may dare, without telling any names, are done. As you can see, from the FTA point of view, the green schedule arrow going up, Uzbekistan is receiving lots of foreign direct investment. Most of them are going for tourism, hospitality, and related services. Now, since we are talking about Central Asia and how tourism can be a benefit, economic value for everyone, what's happening right now in Central Asia, cross-border flows, reshaping the geography, regional travel is increasing, especially in Uzbekistan, lots of domestic tourism happening, and in region, within the Central Asia, there's a great volume of travel. These are some numbers, but based on the ancient Silk Road, China has some One Road, One Belt initiative supporting the regional governments in building transportation, thus increasing the economic gains by creating mobility in the region. So tourism sector and mobility, as we know, you cannot be a tourist in your home while you are sitting. If you can transport, you export earnings, you create employment, small and medium sized companies grow, culture is preserved through history, through souvenirs, through cultural trips around, and infrastructure created for tourists. Not only for tourists, of course, for people will benefit. I been here for the last 48 hours. I prepared this slides before I fly to Mongolia. I was thinking that Uzbekistan, Tashkent is growing. I saw so many constructions, infrastructure investments are done. So not only Central Asia, even Mongolia and the region is growing. I'm almost done. But not everything is rosy. There are constraints in attracting tourists, thus economic benefit. First, connectivity gap. As you can understand, the region is huge in terms of landscape. Building reliable air, rail, and border crossing is essential. Service quality gaps, the countries in the Central Asia first and the region should work towards the unified standards, skills, and languages. Until very recently, like 30 plus years in a global sense, it is recent. They were part of the USSR, and now they are gradually creating their identity. They are creating their tourism product. but over reliance on one itinerary, one destination, one type of tourism can be economically not beneficial. Data gap. Of course, the more industry grows, we need to measure it. We need to see how it grows so that, as my colleagues mentioned earlier, it needs to trickle down to people. Without their support, no amount of infrastructure or investment towards the other areas will benefit. And as we all know, sustainability, global warming, these are all disasters. Geopolitics also affects the region. And what is next? Heritage, nature, MICE tourism, regional circuits are some of the ways to diversify and increase the impact, positive impact of economy, tourism in terms of economy, sorry. The countries should focus on more spending per visitor, more regional collaboration and local ownership. Again, build one region for economies of scale like European Union did. Middle East was working on it. One visa, travel everywhere. That definitely will boost the economic impact of the region. Invest. I wanted to second the colleagues' call for investing on human capital, because it is very important to create, a trained group of people to handle. It doesn't matter whether you have the most expensive marble in your hotel when your receptionist is rude to a guest who traveled 10 hours to your country. That is game over. Nobody will say that, oh, the toilet has, bidet, or, these have 5 shower heads. Nobody will care if your employees don't represent you well. So human capital is important. And moving forward, visitor value should be created, local benefits should be invested in, quality should be focused on, resilience and sustainability. What to take away from my presentation? Particularly Uzbekistan and Central Asia are very important stage of the tourism development. It's not only an economic development, but it is one of the priorities of government, particularly in Uzbek government. Central Asia, especially the Old Silk Road, has a great potential with the support of all the countries working in putting their not only money but brain power, collaboration. It will help us to turn the region into more attractive destination, and thus create economic benefit for the local people. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Ikiz. And now we get to move into Professor Pham Hong Long, Chairman, Tourism Research and Education, Vietnam National University in Hanoi. Please.
Hello, everyone, and it's my great honor to present something about Vietnam and Southeast Asia as well. I just want to say, can you see my slide right now?
Yes, but not correctly. Please share again.
Let me check.
Yeah.
A little bit, sorry. 1 minute. Okay, yeah. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Have you-
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. So hello again to everyone. My name is Phạm Hồng Long. I'm actually working for Vietnam National University in Hanoi. I'm at the moment working as a chairman for scientific research and education at the Faculty of Tourism Study under the Vietnam National University. So today I'm just want to share some of my knowledge about the tourism in Southeast Asia, not only in Vietnam, because I would like to share Vietnam together with Southeast Asia, or we call ASEAN country. So let me start with I know that we only have 10 minutes and I'm the last person, so I would like to make it faster so later on everyone can talk and have a QAs. So let's us see the macro context of ASEAN tourism in 2026. So here is the number. You can see that the tourism in ASEAN is accounting for like 428 GDP contribution or almost 10% of ASEAN GDP. And also, if you look at the job, like out of 100 job right now in overall, so there are 14 job in tourism. So it means that tourism provide a lot of chances in terms of employment for the people in Southeast Asia. And regarding the number of tourists coming to ASEAN country, this is a quite big number, 133 million. And last year in Vietnam, we welcome more than 21 million. Letting you know that before the COVID-19, we only got 18 million, but last year we already passed with 21 million tourists coming to Vietnam. So we can say tourism is not only leisure sector, but it's quite a main measure for economic development in Southeast Asia and in Vietnam as well. And let's see here the economic in the case of Vietnam and ASEAN. You can see that the project economic growth to 2030, Vietnam is quite high growth tier compared with the ASEAN country. It's 5% compared with 4.3%. And in terms of foreign direct investment, Vietnam also attract a lot of foreign direct investment in tourism compared with other country. You can see on the right hand side. So the number of Vietnam is surpassed with Cambodia and Thailand as well. And in terms of free to post pandemic resilient, Vietnam also have very good number like 3% real change, but the other country still minus 11%. So it means that in the case of Vietnam, we are now focusing in tourism development. And here the number of ASEAN in overall, the female employment is almost 50%, and the young people working in tourism is 14%. And it's also raised up for the high wage employment for people in ASEAN is 27%. So we can say tourism is inherent people center, and it acts as a structure mechanism for localized wall and also preventing rural to urban migration, especially for young people And you know that in the case of Vietnam and Southeast Asia country, a lot of young people living in the poor conditions, they would like to go to the urban city. But when tourism development having a lot of chance for them to work in the rural area, that's why it prevent people migrate from the rural to urban city. And here we can see the multiplier effect in terms of tourism development in Southeast Asia. You can see that it have both direct impact and indirect, of course, in theory. But in practice, like the case of Vietnam and Southeast Asia country, you can see here it create job in hospitality, in eco guiding, in homestay, and indirect impact, for example, local agriculture, artisan handicraft, and construction, many kind of job, and it's later on support the community upgrading. So that is very important that the tourism support not only in the urban city, but it supports in the rural area as well. And I would like to give some several case study, 3 case study, and I believe that I can finish in 10 minutes. The first case study about Vietnam, when talking about rural homestay and heritage site, a lot of rural area in Vietnam right now, they run the CBT or community-based tourism, and who are the main tourists coming to those CBT? Mostly backpacker. Before in Vietnam, a lot of people say that we don't want to welcome the backpacker because we cannot have a benefit from them. But now Vietnamese people change our mind because the money from backpacker normally go directly to the local people. There's a like high value tourists coming to Vietnam, but most of the benefits leak out of Vietnam or leakage from Vietnam. So that's why in the case of rural homestay and heritage development, is makes the really impact not only in terms of economic but also in terms of social as well. So this is the case in Vietnam. Second case, I would like to give example about in Malaysia. Malaysia is quite famous eco-tourism destination in Southeast Asia, but they make the natural bay ecotourism outside of the urban city, so it diversify the value for those people living in the urban in outside urban city. So here you can see the social impact. It creates sustainable job in conservation, eco-guiding, and hospitality, and also direct link to the livelihood of indigenous community because they live in the jungle and forest as well. And without tourism, their income is quite low, and their livelihood is under very poverty condition. But with tourism right now, they have very good chance of improving their life. Next one, I would like also give the case study of Indonesia. Indonesia also famous country for ecotourism, but here in the case they make the marine ecotourism balance mass tourism demand with strict ecological boundary, and you see it also brings the economic impact, drive a portion of Indonesia masses, and also in terms of poverty and social impact, is successfully transition from coastal community from extractive fishing to lucrative ecotourism. And that is the case study in Indonesia. So here, I think in Southeast Asia, we are right now together with all over the world having the policy direction, and we are focusing on one, climate and green finance, and second one, the pillar one is smart tourism and digital inclusion. This is very important right now because the AI, because technology development. And pillar three is very important for many sightseeing and tourism destination in Vietnam and Southeast Asia country, because we are applying the public-private community partnership, because like some destinations, they apply this model and running by the private sector, but controlling by the regulation and policy issued by the government in cooperation with local community, because local community is the host of the destination. So in conclusion, the tourism is dual mandate of ASEAN tourism is a catalyst for integration, because especially in Vietnam we have a lot of war, and then we use the tourism as the channel for diplomacy, and also eradicating poverty through the stewardship. So because the timeline, so I just want to give very small talk about the Vietnam tourism and ASEAN tourism in zero only. And if you would like to know more, you can contact me via email or the handphone. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much. And it was stated very well in the chat. It said excellent real life examples. And I think that was really good for everybody involved. And again, I would encourage everybody to reach out to any of our speakers and to connect through LinkedIn and other platforms. That's the whole point of all this, is for us to collaborate and to work together and solve the many problems that exist. But at this time, I would like to introduce Professor Francesco Frangeli, Honorary Secretary General of the United Nations Tourism, former Director General Tourism of France, and an Executive Board member for the Institute of Tourism. Bienvenue.
Professor Frangeli?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, yes.
Good afternoon. Can you see me?
Yes, we can, yes.
Good afternoon. I would like to say hello to everyone, and especially to the old friends in your group from every part of the world. I think I have visited most of your countries. I have a special message for my friend from Cambodia, from Italy, from other places. I just would like to say a few words about the concept of sustainability applied to tourism, because it's a long story, and it has been forgotten by many people. Everything started in 1987 with the famous report, Brundtland Report, name of the lady who was the chair of this group, called Our Common Future. And this was the moment when the concept of sustainability emerged, with a definition that maybe I can find for you. Just a second. Because I want to quote exactly the words. I read, sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Under this concept, you have the famous three bottom. Pardon? You can hear me?
Please make sure to mute your microphones, Kamal.
Yes, I think I think you can hear me.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, I continue. And the three bottom lines of John Elkington was economic, social, and environmental. So you have this three dimension, and you have the concept that everything is not focused on today, but takes into account the needs of the generation to come. And from this report from the UN, 1987, this notion of sustainability was adopted by the famous World Summit, the Earth Summit, in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro. It was repeated by the UN family, and tourism entered into the picture in the year 2002. Because 2002, there was two major events. The first one was in Quebec, Canada, the first World Summit on ecotourism. We defined what ecotourism was. Ecotourism is a part of sustainable tourism, but a very specific part devoted to nature and environment. And the second event of 2002 was the 10 years after Rio de Janeiro, the UN summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. And it is at that time that tourism came into the picture in the plan of action adopted in Johannesburg, of course, mainly for the African countries, but which after that has been enlarged worldwide. And I have listened to the speakers before me, and I can note with satisfaction that they master completely this concept, and more important, they implement it concretely in the field. The year after, 2003, we launched in UNWTO, that is called now UN Tourism, but basically it's UNWTO, an initiative for which was called STEP. STEP was funded by the government of the Republic of Korea, not by North Korea, and for alleviating poverty through tourism development. The link between tourism and poverty has been made, I repeat that, in Johannesburg. And the following step, and maybe the most important, based on all this energy and momentum accumulated, was 2003-2004, the conversion of, which was the World Tourism Organization, already an intergovernmental organization, into what is called a specialized agency of the United Nations. We enter into the UN family as a full-fledged institution. This organization, UNWTO or UN Tourism, is now equal, not equal in size, not equal in strength, but equal in rank and prestige to major institutions like the World Health Organization, UNESCO, UNIDO, the World Maritime Organization, ICAO, and many others. So this was the history that I wanted briefly to recall as a conclusion of your meeting.
Thank you very much. Rizzi, did you want to say something before I close?
No, please.
That was very helpful. I think that one of the biggest points that I took is that we don't always know our history, and we don't always know where things come from. We just do based on the information that we have in front of us.
Don't worry. If you question the tourism ministers or the tourism directors all over the world, they are in the same situation of you. They don't know anything about the past. So you have old people, hopefully like me, to remind you about it.
institutional memory, as I would call it.
That's right.
Merci beaucoup.
So-
Hein?
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And-
So we are going to wrap up this wonderful discussion, and I want to thank again all of our amazing speakers, and I want to thank the audience who asked some really good questions and put some really good insights into the chat. There will continue to be a number of comments on the various platforms. You know, please continue to have the conversation on LinkedIn after today's summit. And I would just add just a couple of things. One is, you know, start small and work with the community. Make sure that their voice is at the table. Community always has to be part of the conversation when it comes to tourism. We have to stop having these situations where entities come in to communities and create these tourism opportunities, but don't involve the community members. And that just creates problems. And we have an opportunity to get ahead of that, to be proactive. And then lastly, tourism projects that reinvest profits into education, sanitation, and infrastructure. These all can help eradicate poverty. And we've seen it all over the world, and we have great examples, and we need to keep talking about these examples so that we can learn from them and sometimes replicate them. So with that, thank you to the Institute of Tourism. Thank you, Ariza, for inviting me to be a moderator. I look forward to the next conversation, and I look forward to rewatching and re-listening to this. And let's connect with each other. Put your LinkedIn's in the chat, and make sure that we connect through various platforms. Again, thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you for wonderful, and thank you all the speakers. I think we still, if some people have questions, you can turn on your microphone. Just have a chat with anybody you like. Just take it easy. So let's say the official conference is done. So if anybody
Thank you
has
very
a
much,
question,
Professor,
yes.
for inviting us. And
Thank
if there are
you
any
so much.
questions towards my direction, shoot.
I would just like to I will not have a question, but I want to congratulate the organizers. This is one of the best webinars ever I attended, because I think we scratched just the surface of potential collaboration. In terms of potential collaborations in the future, I also managed to hear really some interesting informations today, especially thank you, Professor Frangiali. Grazie tanto. So please, I would just like to maybe just suggest, is it possible to make maybe some kind of a list of contacts that because some people might have skipped in the chat the LinkedIn profile or an email, maybe to make a list so we can network more easily in the upcoming period. Thank you so
Okay.
much for everything.
Thank you so much for your compliment. So for your
Thank
information,
you.
the
Thank
recording.
you, Riza.
Thank you. The recording will be there from tomorrow. Also, all the speakers will have a on page, and you can contact them. And all the chat history and the PDF files and all those things will be also available from tomorrow. Just to let you know, so you can
Thank you.
easily contact us and contact the other speakers, especially, and so on. If there are any other questions, please.
Thank you very much. I would like just to appreciate for this great meeting. I'm Yasser Bafo from Somalia, in East Africa, tourism expert, and I'm keep following this kind of virtual experience exchange, attending the Institute of Tourism. And I really appreciate for the sharing those information around the world. And next time we hope to share that the East Africa, what's going on in Africa in tourism, especially in Somalia, Rwanda, Kenya, and all this area. So we really learn a lot, and we appreciate the professors and also the expertise who has been shared from their backgrounds and their country, what's going on in the tourism. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yasir. There's a lot of LinkedIn profiles being shared.
Any other questions, remarks?
Thank you, Matsuko.
For here, I'm from Malaysia. It is a great pleasure to listen to all the presentation by the distinguished speakers. And like my now mentioned that we are looking forward with leads, the attendees, and I would like to congratulate State of Tourism for
I think
well, I just for you. It's
Unfortunately, we cannot hear you well. So
yeah, Dr. Ismail, if you could put your question in the chat or comment in the chat.
really?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, all right. No worries, no worries. I just want to congratulate the organizer. Thank you very much.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Any other questions? Maybe you want to read a question that you like from the chat before we
Sure.
close. You think that?
Let me see if I can find one. So really just a lot of congratulations more than anything. There were some questions earlier about there's a question about how to encourage tourism education for the youth. And maybe some examples from our speakers of what is being done in their communities, in their countries that might be useful to the group. Dr. Ickes, do you have go for it?
Hello. Hi, Damian. Thank you very much for your great session sharing. I would like to approach that not only for the university, my university. I don't want to sound advertisement, but we are doing a double degree, Swiss degree, and a Uzbek degree at the same time. Partnership and internalization is very important, and we are closely working with the high schools to create awareness in the younger ages, because now with the AI, people are thinking what has happened in the internet age. People were saying that now 1990s, internet is out, everything is done, no academic research, nothing. Then we move past that. Now we are seeing with the AI, people are worried that service sector and other industries will be affected. And I humbly think that human factor will not be replaced. Yes, we will use AI. Yes, we will be more efficient with it in time. However, for the young generation who are watching or your students, I strongly believe that the future of service industry will not suffer. If not, it will help us to make it more efficient and make it more smarter services rather than replacement of human factor. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Daniel,
Prof.
can I
Evidin,
add
for
few
your
words?
response.
Can I add few words?
Natalie, yes, please, Natalie.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for this question, because for our association, one of the priorities is the education, and by support of our organization was established in Georgia Dual Education Initiative. And last 10 years, we are working with professional colleges and high institutions regarding the service improvement activities. And for special program in dual direction in the hospital sector, we already have established in Georgia, this hotel service, restaurant service, etc. So just now we are working with our international partner, British experts and GIZ, to establish in Georgia by moderation of Georgian Tourist Association. This is the public-private and educational institution stakeholders working group. And just next week, we have the 25th of June, we have the big international conference, Tourism and Education, where we'll create the action plan for this working group, stakeholder working group. And this initiative will be around only tourism and hospitality education development process. So I am proud that we have this process now, because the service development without education, it's impossible around the world. So we are suggesting in our country as well, education, strong education, especially the wet education. So this is a few words about our initiatives as well in my country. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. And I will just add in, one of the things that I've done as a chair of a hospitality and tourism program previously was to create competitions for high school students, specifically to get them aware of the different roles that exist and to create that spark where they might be interested in joining the industry. And so if anybody wants that blueprint, I'm happy to share it. And it could be replicated anywhere around the world. I've done it in Ghana. I've done it in New York. And I think competitions are just a really good way to get people excited. And it does address the issue of AI, because it's really hard to use AI to personalize things. They'll still use it. Of course, they're going to use it. It's a tool. But you can build in safeguards so that it's only useful to a point. So, and Natalie, I messaged you because I'd love to learn more about what's happening on June 25th. So wonderful. Any other examples of ways to educate the youth? And I'm thinking more of the younger individuals.
Yes, if I can, Damien
Dr.
Bridget
Bridget?
here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, the education component, of course, is huge and very important, and I'm glad that came up in the end. And I think Professor Frangeli also alluded to that somehow, taking us back to the development of sustainability, the whole concept. I'm actually talking to a lady in Kathmandu. It's Dr. Smriti Plantar from Kathmandu University, and she's asked me, and we collaborating on that, and made a suggestion, and I put a proposal together for an immersive exchange program for international students, for a 3-week program to go to Nepal as part of the education at university level, to immerse and it's a program, so A Pathway to Peace. That is a title that we're proposing. Hopefully it will be initiated next year, 2027. Another concept of education and using tourism as an educational tool. Immersive program, reality learning, experiential learning. That is what we're needing. The combination of academics and experiential learning. I think that's what we need to promote in education. That's my comment.
Wonderful.
I see also Mr. Timothy Marshall, chairman of the Institute for Peace through Tourism.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Marshall, are you here? Maybe you want to add something?
Well,
very happy to see you here, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can.
Okay. First of all, I just want to thank you, Mr. Soltani, because for bringing together such an extraordinary team to present today. I learned so much, and each presentation could have been a webinar of its own. It was really, truly outstanding. This whole topic is so timely with all that is going on in the world. It was so positive and refreshing to hear the excellent work that people are doing around the world. And Mr. Moderator, you were extraordinary. So I just want to thank you, Raisa. This was really wonderful, and congratulations to everyone. You taught and you energized and you uplifted all of us who were part of this. Thank you so much, Raisa.
Thank you so much. Well, our moderator is wonderful because same as you, he's from New York. So we have 2 people from New York, and we have many amazing people, of course, from there. Thank you so much. You have done a wonderful job. If people don't know, IIPT, International Institute for Peace through Tourism, which I'm also part of that for many years. And Mr. Timothy Marshall is the chairman, is active in the hub. Tourism can promote peace through mutual understanding and peace. If you want to add something more, dear Timothy, please go ahead.
No, that's it. I'm having some technical issues.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, somebody's mic is hot.
Yes.
Dr. Sukham,
Yeah,
your mic was hot.
thank you, Professor Damien. See you when you come in Cambodia.
Yes.
Okay. See you when I see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. This is Stevenson from Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. We had really from 67 countries. Is unbelievable.
Wow.
That's great. Yeah.
Well, you managed to do wonders. Do you know what you just did? I received at least 10 invites for collaboration through LinkedIn just based on this webinar. So
Well, thank you so much. We're very happy.
Thank you.
That's exactly what we're trying to do, of course. Networking is a very important part of what we are doing. Yeah.
But when you
of
hear
course,
passion,
because we have so many amazing people working with us, including Dr. Bridget Trower, who have been our executive also for many years, and she has done many moderations for us and is still doing. Maybe you can say something more about the wellness and well-being, or Bridget. You are muted.
That is a big topic. Wellness, well-being, obviously. I think where my concern is, or my interest is, that everybody talks about wellness tourism. And I think today's discussion, and particularly the points made by Professor Vangeli, taking us back to sustainability and the impact and benefits that tourism is supposed to provide, is we're looking at well-being. That is the outcome. Wellness is a process. It's a matter of getting there. Wellness tourism is a practical application of various means for achieving well-being, and that includes, again, the sustainability model, economic, social and environmental, and the benefits are for the local people and place. So that is well-being. So that's my point to wellness.
Thank you. Well said. Yeah. So if there are no other things, maybe we close.
Yeah, I think this is a good time. And there were some questions that weren't answered in the chat, but I think that those could be addressed on LinkedIn as to continue the conversation for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you from tomorrow.
Bye,
We
everybody.
can see everything on our website. Thank you so much, all this. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone. Looking forward to collaborate with everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Dr. Ishmael.
Bye-bye from Lagos, Nigeria. Bye-bye.